innovation, and transparency, the Ronald McDonald House works to provide a community where children and families embrace life with hope, courage, and joy. And your donations are put to good use to help make a difference in this community. Susan Kenny from the OC Ronald McDonald House is here to share more. Susan, welcome to Critical Mass Radio Show.
Thank you for having me.
It's awesome. So before we talk about the cause and the other stuff that's going on, let's talk about you. What's your path to your current position here?
Well, I was blessed to have an incredible mother who gave back throughout our entire community. So whether it was through our church or through school or through being a Rotarian, reading in classrooms. I mean, she just was constantly doing stuff. And so she led by example, and she was a businesswoman as well while doing all of that. And it inspired me as an adult. I was in the sales field, and but volunteered my time. I was a wish granter for Make-A-Wish. I ran a couple marathons with Team in Training, volunteered with Project Cuddle, a couple different charitable organizations. And then I just got to the point where I wasn't inspired by what I was doing professionally.
Okay.
And I wanted to wake up every day really making a difference. And so I set forth to look for a charitable organization to work for as a professional. So I did that 16 years ago. Yes, and haven't looked back. I love it. I love that I get up every day and do something that really makes a difference in the lives of a lot of people.
Right. And, okay, I want to make sure I understand correctly. Are you saying you've been in the nonprofit world for 16 years?
Yes.
How long have you been with the OC Ronald McDonald House?
4 years.
4 years. Okay. So, got that set. Now, many people know the brand for a variety of reasons.
Yes.
But can you explain how the OC Ronald McDonald House operates?
Yes. So we are a global organization. There are 366 houses worldwide. I represent the Orange County House, but we are all doing the same mission, and that mission is to provide a home for families that have critically ill or injured children that are receiving treatment at local hospitals. So what happens is the best doctor for your child or best specialist for your child may not be in your neck of the woods.
Right.
You know, so as a parent myself, I am going to do whatever I need to do to take care of my kids. So if that means I have to travel to Washington, D.C. or to Texas or wherever it may be to get the best specialists for my children, I'm going to go.
Okay.
And I'm going to go regardless if I have anywhere to stay, right? I'm going to figure it out when I get there. So what the Ronald McDonald House does is provides a home for these families that are coming from all over the world to care for their children. So they don't have to incur costs by staying at a hotel for a week or a month or a year, for that matter, depending on how sick their child is. So we provide a home, a place for them to sleep. We provide every amenity that they could possibly need with lotions and soaps and shampoos. We have laundry facilities with everything they need there. We have a full kitchen that is constantly filled with food so that they don't need to worry about going to the market. Anything that we can think of to care for these families. Research shows that a child that has their family around them will heal quicker.
Okay.
They're less stressed because they can get a kiss from mom and dad at night. They're less scared maybe about getting a shot because mom or dad's there holding their hand, or their siblings there playing a game with them. So it is, the research has shown it really, really does help. And it keeps the family together as well. Having a sick child or having a sick parent or a spouse is incredibly stressful.
Yes.
It's also incredibly isolating. So these families don't have somebody who understands what they're going through, and so they may not be able to get that stress out, you know. So when they come into our home, they are welcomed by, at our current home, a 20-bedroom house with 20 families.
I was just going to ask you.
Yeah, 20 families that could provide that support because they know exactly what they're going through.
Is it a house?
It
like
is a house.
A house?
Absolutely. So we are in Orange, the city of Orange. We're a block away from Chalk.
Okay, that's a good location.
Yes.
Right.
We are a 30-year-old home this year. We were built to be a Ronald McDonald House. So from the ground up, designed to support these families in their time of need.
Okay.
That's not necessarily the case with houses all over the world. Some are converted apartment complexes or hotels or even homes that we've purchased and then support the families that way. But our home was built to be a Ronald McDonald House.
So can I unpack this a little bit? Because as you were
Yeah.
talking, you fired off a number of questions. The first one is, how did this get started?
Well, we are very fortunate to know the family that inspired the very first house because they are Orange County residents.
Oh, my.
Fred and Fran Hill were childhood sweethearts. They met in first grade. They're the most adorable couple. But he was playing for SC football. She was going to UCLA. I have to say that because they both get their, do support with both teams. But anyway, he was drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles, and they were living in Philadelphia. They had a 3-year-old, a 1-year-old, and Fran was pregnant with their third child. And their 3-year-old was diagnosed with leukemia. And their family was the team because the rest of their family was here in Southern California.
Sure.
And so the team owner, the general manager, the players, they rallied around the Hill family and said, we're going to help save Kim's life. And they first started off doing fundraisers for leukemia research. And they did that for about a year or two. And they worked really closely with the Children's Hospital to see what they needed in order to support these children living with cancer. And so a couple of years into their support of the local Children's Hospital in Philadelphia, they sat down with Dr. Audrey Evans and said, what do you need now? What do we need to do to fundraise this year? And she gave them a laundry list of oncology equipment, but at the bottom of the list it said a house, a halfway house is what she said. And Fred and Fran said, you know what, that would have been amazing for us. Fred was actually injured at the time when Kim was diagnosed, so he wasn't traveling with the team. So he was able to take their younger daughter home while Fran wouldn't leave the hospital. She stayed there with Kim. And the hospitals were not designed for families to stay.
Right.
But Fran said, I'm not leaving her side. And she was also pregnant. So it was very uncomfortable for her, but she certainly wasn't going anywhere. So through that, they said, yes, we will do this. And so the owner of the Eagles, Mr. Leonard Tose, threw a fundraiser at the stadium, and he invited everybody in town, vendor partners from the stadium, but also people. The way Fred tells the story is very funny that Mr. Toast apparently was quite the gambling man, and he called up everybody that every fundraiser he had been to and said, I've been to every one of yours, you're coming to mine, and hung up on them. And so he filled the stadium, and they had this lovely event. And of the people that were there, there was a McDonald's regional manager who was so moved by the story. He had children the same age as the Hills, he was the same age as they were, and he said, we want to help. And so McDonald's got on board to help, and they said, we will give you 25 cents for every Shamrock Shake that we sell. Just give us some Eagle players to promote it. And we would like for you to call it the Ronald McDonald House. And, the Eagles and the Hill family said, sure. In fact, Fred tells the story that you can call it Hamburger Heaven. We don't care. Just give us the money so we can open the house. And that's how the partnership started.
Wow.
So.
And now there's 366 around the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The need must be amazing, though.
It
right?
is. I was just having this conversation this morning with somebody else that unless you are inundated with this sort of life, spending time at Chalk or doing what I do or the lots of other wonderful charities here in Orange County, you don't really think about it because you don't have to.
Yes.
But there are children who get diagnosed with diseases every day or that they get injured every single day. It's not just a child who's diagnosed with cancer. It's a child who's in a really bad car accident,
God forbid, yeah.
And so the houses provide that access to care, that these parents who would say, I can't afford to go get the treatment for my child because there's nowhere for me to stay. I can't afford it. I can't leave my job or I can't do this. And so the Ronald McDonald houses give them that opportunity that they can go to these specialists and help.
I've heard you say numbers like up to a year. I mean, how long can people reside in
there
the Ronald
is
McDonald
yeah
house?
There's no time that we stamp on their visit. It's really up to the hospital tells us that this child is actively still receiving treatment. So and the child does not need to be in the hospital in order for them to stay with us. So some of these kids that have these chronic illnesses, they need to see their specialists once a month, once a quarter, once a year together, and they'll come for a couple of days for appointments. And so obviously we wouldn't have them commuting back and forth between all these appointments. So,
Right.
and the lovely thing about that too is the families they create this incredible support system for each other. And so those kiddos that have these appointments, the parents will schedule them at the same time so they can be in the house together.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So they create a friendship then.
Yes, it's really lovely.
That is.
Yeah.
What great work.
Yeah.
We're talking with Susan Kenny. We're talking about the Orange County Ronald McDonald House, which is here, not too far from Chalk Hospital, for those of you that know Orange County. I wonder if you could share kind of the core philosophy, we call it the guiding principle, that you observe, that you're a part of with the OC Ronald McDonald House.
Well, the wonderful thing about this organization is it is not a disease-specific organization. There are wonderful, wonderful organizations that support, cancer and support muscular dystrophy or support cystic fibrosis, and those are needed, of course, because
Yes.
we're trying to cure these diseases. But what the house does, and why I think it's a wonderful organization, is it supports any critical illness or injury. Then it also supports families, and then it also provides housing. And so this lovely, well-rounded organization that really helps such a big group of people. So the core philosophy then, with that said, is that we do have people living under our roof who have cancer and have muscular dystrophy and cystic fibrosis. So we have worked hard to collaborate with these other organizations. We are definitely an extension to Chalk Hospital. Our patients are theirs are ours. We have a family room located inside Chalk Hospital, which is, they've given us the real estate because they see this family-centered care is so important.
Oh, okay.
So it is the house amenities right there in the hospital setting. We are partnering with Make-A-Wish. We're partnering with Team Impact. We've got, in Orange County, there are so many wonderful organizations, but we all have to work together. And so
Yes.
that's really, we're all supporting the same people. So that's really...
And if you said it, I didn't catch it, but how long has the Orange County Ronald McDonald House
30
been?
years.
30 years.
But the organization, we will be celebrating our 45th year this year.
Okay, so it was a relatively early house then. I mean,
Yes. So
15 years in.
Our Los Angeles. So we are part of the Southern California chapter, which
Okay.
has Los Angeles, Long Beach, Inland Empire, Pasadena, Bakersfield, and then we also have a summer camp for children
No kidding.
who. No, it's wonderful. Love it. So
Where's that?
It is in Idlewild.
Okay.
And the land was purchased by Ray Kroc's wife for us. So yeah.
Okay, so that ties in the whole
It does.
Ronald
It
McDonald
does.
McDonald's thing.
Exactly. And so
Right.
I do need to say, though, while we are incredibly blessed to have the support of McDonald's, we only have about 10 to 15% of our annual budget that comes from our
Really?
local...
You mean they're not writing the fat checks for
Well,
everything?
interesting enough, a lot of people think that. But
Right.
while McDonald's is a corporation, McDonald's are small, the owner-operators are
Yeah,
small business
franchisees.
owners. Yep. So to have an expectation of them to support 366 houses worldwide for the last 45 years is just not realistic.
Right.
And we really wouldn't want just one organization to support us. I mean, it really is a community effort.
Mm-hmm.
And we're blessed at the house, the Orange County House, to have dinner provided for our families every single night of the week, breakfast about 4 to 5 times a week. And that is from companies, local companies coming and doing it, or local schools, or local churches, or alumni families that have left the house. And so we need everybody's support. So it really
Yeah,
is.
that's a daunting task to think that you have that many people that are staying and you're providing all this services for them. It's
Yeah.
a never-ending proposition, is it?
Exactly. And the thing is our 20-bedroom home, while we say we can support 20 families, we oftentimes support even more. When our house is full, we put the families in local hotels.
Oh, my goodness.
We don't want to turn anybody away. We know these families are coming regardless. My child is sick, I'm coming. So
Yeah.
I'm either staying in my car or, I'm going to sleep in the hospital chairs. But our capacity last year was 109%. We put that many more people into the hotels.
Wow.
And because where we are in Southern California, it's such a destination place, some of these people are here by happenstance. They're here on vacation. In fact, we have a family in the house right now. I just spoke to the dad this morning from Sydney, Australia. They came to vacation in Southern California, go to Disneyland.
Right.
Their older daughter's appendix burst.
Jeez.
And so
That's nasty.
now they're here. Yeah.
Peritonitis.
So now they're here for the next 2 weeks, and they weren't planning on it. And
Right.
where would they have gone? What would they have done? And so anyway,
How did they know to find you?
the hospital.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Chalk says-
Chalk, yes. That's how, well, any local hospital. We will take a referral from any hospital in Orange County, but the
Okay.
majority of our families are coming from Chalk just by nature of where we're located.
Yeah, and your focus.
Absolutely.
Makes sense. Wow. I always like to ask my guests what challenges. I mean, it sounds perfect. Life must be ideal. You got Ronald. But any challenges you care to share with us?
Well, just like you said, and I mentioned earlier, we have this wonderful name recognition, brand recognition, if you will, but not a lot of people truly understand what it is that we do. They maybe see the name and they think, "Oh, McDonald's has
that's
that covered,
McDonald's
so
charity, yeah.
why do I need to?"
Right.
We, to be honest, we've even had people come to our house and say, "Oh, is this some sort of fancy McDonald's? Can we order some food here?" They assume we're a restaurant. So just the challenge of people getting to know exactly what it is that we do and how important it is what we do, and that we do need your help.
So do you like a quarter pounder or do you like the Big Mac better?
I'm
honestly?
a quarter pounder girl.
Are you?
I am.
Okay.
I don't like that extra bun in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah,
Too much.
exactly.
That's totally off script, ladies and gentlemen. But
It's all right.
I'm talking with Susan Kenny, who's with the Orange County Ronald McDonald House. I know that you have an event coming up. Maybe you'd like to tell our audience about it, Susan.
Absolutely. We have our 10th annual Walk for Kids at the Honda Center on Sunday, April 7th. Registration starts at 7 a.m. The event starts at 8 a.m. We would love for you to come and join us in any way that you can. You can go to walkforkids.org/Orange County. That'll get you to our website. You can create a team. We're looking for sponsors and teams and volunteers. We had over 3,000 people there last year. And
How far do you walk?
Just a 5K.
Okay.
Yep, just a 5K, nice and
Oh,
short.
just a 5K. The lady runs a marathon. That's 5K. It's a 5K.
I've done 2 marathons. No,
Well,
but
there you go. Sorry.
back in the day.
Back in the day.
So, but it's just a 5K and it is super fun. We have a kids zone. We have a walker village. We have bands. We have this year's theme is superheroes. So we want
That's always popular.
Yeah, people to come in their favorite superhero attire. It just moving speeches from people. Why they walk, and so
Right.
it's a really, really great event.
Is this a national thing? Because you said Orange County. I mean, is this something that other Ronald McDonald houses are doing, or is it?
So we are a global organization, but each chapter throughout the world is
Okay,
its
it's a
own
chapter.
separate 501c3.
Oh,
so
okay.
so we can make our own decision. We're all doing the same mission. We're all doing the same messaging that our global organization tells us, this is what we're to do.
Right.
But then each chapter gets to decide how they want to fundraise and how they want to.
And you say you're part of the Southern California
We are.
chapter.
So every one of our houses and programs, the camp as well, in the chapter in Southern California does a walk.
Is there a house in San Diego?
There is,
Okay.
but they are not a part of our chapter. They are a part of their own chapter. Seems strange just based on
Okay.
geography. But
I was just
yeah.
curious because,
Yes.
it's Southern California.
Exactly.
I didn't hear you mention it before.
I think, come on, San Diego, join
Get with the program.
No, join us. So.
Okay, yes. We love you. We're very accepting, aren't we? Yes.
Exactly.
Southern California. It's fantastic.
Exactly.
So what is the future? Let's talk about Orange County.
Okay.
What's the future for the Orange County Ronald McDonald House?
Well, as I mentioned, we are busting at the seams. So we are going to need to figure out a way to expand our house. We're going to need to, as these hospital partners of ours grow, we need to grow as well. So we're looking for ways to find more housing for our families.
And this is an expensive part of town,
Yes.
Orange County.
Well, lucky for us, our board had the thought, the wherewithal in 2001 to purchase the land right next door to us.
Oh,
So we have
okay.
this lovely,
Well, that's a good starting point.
lovely piece of land right next door to us.
Wow.
We use the space for parking right now and special events at the house. But yes, we are primed to make a move.
Well, that's a big part of the battle.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, that's good. Good for that board. See the
I know.
strategic value of boards and board members. You have a good board now?
We have an amazing board.
Are you always looking for other board members?
We are
though?
always looking for amazing board members.
What would be a
yes.
good candidate for a board member for you?
Somebody who obviously has a heart to help, and somebody who has a desire to give and to connect the dots for us. We need people to know what we're doing, and we need that help. And there are so many wonderful organizations to support in Orange County that we want people who love us and want to help us too.
Right.
So,
and if you don't have the ability to be on a board, I'm sure you have committees and
absolutely.
other volunteers.
Lots of volunteer opportunities at the house. We have our walk. We also have a golf tournament, and we also have a fashion show.
Oh.
Rick, I think you'd look great on the catwalk.
I got the socks.
There you go.
It's an inside joke, ladies and gentlemen. If someone would like to get in touch with you and learn more about the Orange County Ronald McDonald House, how do they do it, Susan?
Our house number is 714-639-3600.
Okay.
You can visit our website at RMHCSC, which is Ronald McDonald House Charities, Southern California.org/Orange County.
That's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful.
Wow. But it's well worth the effort.
It is.
You can just Google Ronald McDonald House Orange County, and I'm
Yes,
sure it'll come up
absolutely.
as well. If you have any trouble with the URL, just type it in.
Absolutely.
Susan Kinney, thank you so much for giving your time and
course.
sharing the work that you and the organization is
Thank
doing to
you.
help families here in Orange County.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thanks for being a friend of the program and a part of our critical mass community, my friend.
Perfect. Yay.
All right. And I'm going to thank Paul Roberts, who is our engineer for today's show, and actually all the shows because he owns the station, and our three producers without whom I couldn't do this show each week, Joan Park, Crystal Nunley, and Haley Stern. If you'd like to connect with me, let's start on LinkedIn. I'm Richard Franzi, Franzi. That's how you spell my last name. And until our next show, I hope all of your business decisions will move your company in a positive direction.